You guys are here to watch my TBR versus wrap up for the month of February. There is not much preface needed, I think. I think we can straight away get into the topic. But if you're new here and wondering what this channel is about, in this channel I talk about books. So if you're a bookaholic like me, please subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, and comment. With that, let's get into the video. In the month of February, okay, if you're wondering what I'm looking at my reading journal where I had listed down my TBR. So for February, I had The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, I in fact started the book in the month of January and carried over into February because I couldn't finish it. And it was a read along in one of the Discords, and I couldn't just continue. So I decided that I will, carry on reading it on my own, on my own pace. Then I have Before They Were Hanged by Joe Abercrombie from the First Law series, actually book two in the First Law series. Then Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and Vegan Propaganda by Ed Winters, Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So, how did I fare? I did finish I did finish The Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm flipping towards my February spread. You know what? To be frank, the first half of the book did not impress me much. I was kind of bored. I told you already, I think, in one of my previous videos, because of all the landscape descriptions, all the time Mr. Tolkien spent on explaining the landscapes and the waterfall and the geography of the place. And the journey itself, it was kind of bland for me, and I was like, okay, get to the point. But then when I told this in one of the videos, Anita told me that, hey, why don't you try the audiobook read out by Andy Serkis. So that's what I did for part 2 of The Fellowship of the Ring. But this is the first time I realized that audiobook could make such a big difference. So I was doing immersive reading, and the experience was so great. I'm really thankful to Anita for recommending me that, and I really enjoyed the second part of The Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm looking forward to reading The Two Towers sometimes very soon. So that was The Lord of the Rings, and the second book that I read actually was something that was not in my TBR, which is The Other Wife by Claire McCowan. So it's kind of a domestic thriller plus psychological thriller mystery. There is this woman called Susie. She is pregnant, and her husband's name is Nick, and they during her pregnancy, they decide to move from the main city of London to the outskirts, and they are living in a very isolated cottage, and there's like only one neighbor. That neighbor is also kind of new in the locality, and she is kind of mysterious, but she is the only friend that Susie has. So we have different POVs. We have Susie's POV, and we have this neighbor Nora, her POV as well. It switches between the two, and their life, in fact, is connected through in a very twisted way, and there is a very secret agenda why Nora actually is staying in that particular cottage right next to Susie's home, or Susie's cottage. Mystery and the twists keep on coming, and I really enjoyed this read. I think I rated this a solid 4.5. So this was a good mystery read. I love a good mystery thriller. The third book that I read, let me see which one it was. Okay, so The Picture of Dorian Gray. So this I read along with Kiran from Noob Readers and Janki from Let Us Talk About Books. So this is the classic book of the month which I chose. I really, really loved the book. Initially, it took some time to get into the rhythm of the book, because obviously it is set in a very different time, and it's a classic. So from the fantasy and contemporary mystery thrillers that I'm reading. It was a different mood and setting, so it took some time to get into it. But once I did, it was such a wonderful experience. It's definitely a philosophical novel, and there is so much to talk about, so much to think about, so much to ponder. And this novel introduced to me the most loathsome character in the literary world, and that is Lord Henry. I hate him so much. Oh my god, he is such a bad influence on the very naive, new to big city boy who is Dorian Gray. The story goes like this: Dorian Gray comes to this big city, after his father passes away, and he's inherited a lot of money. One of his friends is a painter, an artist, and he paints his portrait. The artist's name is Basil Hallward, and Basil actually introduced Dorian to his friend Lord Henry, and Lord Henry is the most loathsome character in the entire literary world, I think. So he is such a bad influence on Dorian. He is kind of a hedonist. He believes in beauty of things. He believes in the outer beauty of things. He doesn't believe that art should have inner value. We should take it as how we see it. There is no hidden meanings, and this is the kind of nonsense that Lord Henry is feeding into Dorian Gray. Dorian picks up on that. He is obviously a very naive, young, impressionable character. Once the painting is complete, once his portrait is completed, Dorian Gray is so stunned by how beautiful he looks. So basically, Dorian is an amazingly beautiful uh, looking guy. Lord Henry says that beauty is very fickle, it is fading, it is only for a short period of time, and that actually bothers Dorian a lot. And Dorian wishes that if he could stay this young and beautiful and handsome forever like this and not age, and instead his picture could age and wither away, and kind of a Faustian bargain, and that happens, and that's where the story takes off from. I will definitely do a separate video on this because I have a lot to say about this book. So that was the picture of Dorian Gray, which I rated 4.5 out of 5. Maybe I should rate it as 5. Let's see. Then I read The Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Oh my god, I really loved it. I loved the narration. The narration was done by Kenneth Branagh, and I really, really loved his narration and narrative style. And this was a very good, satisfying, cozy mystery thriller, a typical Christie mystery, and I totally, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I rated it 5 out of 5. Yes, I did. So that was The Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. And then I read The Unfaithful by Natalie Barelli. This book actually started off very slow, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm not that interested, maybe I should DNF it. However, there were so many great reviews, I decided to continue, and I'm glad I did because the second half of the book was so properly paced. It was interesting, all the right amount of twists and turns that is needed in a thriller that I would expect. And also, I love psychological thrillers which are narrated from first person POV. This was again, I would say 4 out of 5. It was a good rate. And then I am currently reading Kindred. I am 75% into the book. I'm reading this along with Anita from Anita Gade's channel. We are buddy reading it, and we will definitely have a discussion video on this as well coming up soon in 2 weeks time. It's basically the story of a woman. She is basically living in 1970s, and due to some magical intervention that is not explained, it's a mystery, but she is taken back to the antebellum South, where she meets one of her ancestors or some of her ancestors, and how the story unfolds, and how as a black woman she realizes she gets to see the life of slaves back in the days. I was tearing up throughout, guys. There were so many heart wrenching, uh, very, very disturbing scenes. It's disheartening, it is depressing to know that this was actually the uh, reality for many people. I'm really looking forward to finishing the rest of the book and have a wholesome discussion with Anita. It was Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. And then another Christie mystery, and that is the ABC Murders. This was a quite okayish read. The mystery was really good. The build-up was good. I was really looking forward to the reveal. But when the reveal actually happened, I felt that it was too far-fetched and it had too many variables in it, which I felt was kind of, implausible. The solution felt like that. But then this is fiction. We are allowed the factor of implausibility, so it's okay. So I would rate this a 3 out of 5. Oh, I gave it 3.5. Okay, 3.5 out of 5 for the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie. And then I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This is a Japanese novel. I liked it. It was again a nice, cozy read. There is a cafe in Japan, and where you can. There is this one seat there where you can sit, go back to the past, that exact past where you want to go to. There are multiple characters who wish to do the time travel for various reasons, but I would not rate this, or I would not. Categorize. I would not classify this book as a science fiction book. It was more about relationships and emotions and feelings. It was a okayish read. I would rate this 3 out of 5. Next two books in the list, actually, which were part of my TBR, was Before They Are Hanged, which was by Joe Abercrombie. I'm only around 60% into the book. I couldn't finish it. February, March are kind of very busy months for me because of work related commitments, so it's quite hectic out here. So that's why I'm kind of slow and I couldn't finish many of the books that I started in February, but I'm planning to finish them in the first week and then get on with my March list. That's the plan. Anyways, that is the status of Before They Are Hanged, and so far so good. Again, the narrator, Stephen Pacey, chef's kiss. I love his narration. Another book that I wanted to read was The Royal Assassin, and this is a read along with the Gregory Laporche's channel. I am just starting it off because, again, like I said, I was so busy with work that I couldn't get into many of the books, so I am just starting off with Royal Assassin. Guys, I love Feds. I love the fact that Robin Hobb has so many animal companions included in the story, in the plot. So I'm totally getting into the world, the realm of the Elderlings universe, and I am totally loving it. So those were the books that I read in the month of February. So if I take a count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 completed books and 3 books incomplete, halfway through. Still not bad. 7 is still okay. 1 less than last month. Oh yeah, actually 8 books. 8 books. I didn't count the vegan propaganda. So 8 books, not bad. So same as last month. There are some upcoming videos that's coming. I will be doing a review of the picture of the Dorian Gray. Like I said, I will also be doing the review of the vegan propaganda. Then I will be also doing a discussion video with Anita about Kindred. So that's an exciting lineup of videos coming up. I thank you all for watching this video till now, and I will see you soon in another video very soon. This is Angie signing off. Bye bye.